Hey friends, this is Dolynny TV. Thank you so much for being aboard this afternoon as we get set up to discuss what is our first huge NHL trade deadline rumor. We're just a few days away from January, which means, to my surprise, it took a few more weeks than usual, but we are lining up to start discussing the NHL trade deadline here today. And this is nothing formal that I'm going to go sit here and analyze for you. It's more or less we're just going to discuss something that's been floated and kind of keep our eyes on it as we did developing the Erik Karlsson situation last year. Friends, if you're new to the channel, I encourage you right now to consider hitting that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV. That would be greatly appreciated if you're able to do that. And with that, we'll move over to Jake Guentzel of the Pittsburgh Penguins, who could possibly be an acquisition for the Edmonton Oilers come this trade deadline. Chris Johnston of The Athletic, of course, he went out there and kind of floated a couple of things about him the other day. Mainly the fact that it is possible that the Pittsburgh Penguins would look to move on from Guentzel, and basically saying that he is a good fit for the Edmonton Oilers. Basically, the way it's worded here on the post I'm looking at is, should the Penguins decide to trade him, that the Edmonton Oilers are a good fit. So again, just to kind of go over that, it's the same exact kind of line of questioning we took with the Erik Karlsson situation last year. If you're a returning subscriber and you're like, oh, now great, this stuff again, this is exactly how we started the Erik Karlsson discussions is, hey, it's a good fit. We could find something here. Now with Jake Guentzel, I don't see it as good a fit as maybe Chris Johnston does here, but what I will tell you about Jake Guentzel is anytime you could potentially add a point per game player to your lineup or a better than point per game player, you're going to be doing okay. Now, Jake Guentzel is listed as a left winger. I don't watch the Pittsburgh Penguins, haven't watched a game in probably 2 years of theirs, but at the same rate, too, he's a guy who's put up 38 points this year in 33 games. He's a guy who's under 6 feet. There's a bunch to like and not like about Jake Guentzel, but the biggest thing here for the Oilers is would be much needed added scoring inside the top 6. So again, right, you look at that from that aspect, and anybody that's going to go out there, any insider, and float that the Oilers could potentially look to add point per game scoring to their top 6 just in time for the playoffs, I'm always going to have moments to entertain that. So that's more or less what this is today, is just kind of getting that name put in your brain and saying, hey, let's pay attention to this as this evolves. The post furthered as well, kind of the comments from Johnston saying that the Penguins, if they could get a higher return, would potentially, of course, take on more retention. That said, the Penguins could very well turn their season around still as well and not decide to sell off. I think the Penguins are kind of in a weird situation where, with the commitment to Crosby, Letang, and Malkin, they're going to have to retool, not rebuild here over the next few years. So they're 4 points currently out of a playoff spot. Again, read into that what you will, because at the end of the day, they've played 33 games. The season's still young. They have an above 500 record. So I don't know why they would look to sell off at this point. So again, this is something where I'm saying, keep in mind, we will just see what happens here towards the NHL trade deadline. So that's really all I've got for you, friends. Jake Guentzel to the Oilers could be huge by the deadline, but for right now, it's just a name that got floated around our stratosphere of hockey, and now we add it to the radar as we pick up steam towards the trade deadline. But first, we got to get in 2024 and start turning this season around without added help. Tonight, friends, 8 p.m. against the LA Kings. We get the live stream up and underway again. It's an 8 p.m. start. And, well, I got some family stuff to attend to tonight by the looks of it. So it may be just the first period, but I invite you to swing by the Dolynny TV play-by-play this evening for at least the first period of the playoff rematch. I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. I am up on out of here.